What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we're going to be covering Batman the Knight, issue number 7. Throughout this 10-part series, what we have really seen is Bruce Wayne going through his training. The training that will eventually make him the Batman. Getting a much deeper look at everything going on in this training, running into some new and very familiar faces. As his training begins to come to an end, traveling across the world, he winds up in New York City. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, you have liked this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Bruce Wayne, currently in a straitjacket, submerged in a tank of water. This is very Harry Houdini. After all of his travel, he has found himself in New York City. He has come here to learn from a teacher that he very much knows. Escaping from his restraints and being able to make it out of the tank. This is where we see John Zatara. John Zatara, once upon a time, was very close friends with Bruce Wayne's parents. And with Bruce Wayne doing his training across the globe, he has come to John to learn magic. At this point, Bruce Wayne truly believes that he is learning the sleight of hand, that he is learning tabletop type magic, completely unaware of how real magic is. But him being submerged in this tank is only part of the training. John Zatara being a stage magician for so many years, he lets Bruce Wayne know how great he has progressed throughout all of this training. And once upon a time, John may have been the greatest stage magician the world has ever seen. That is, until he lost his wife. And now he is a man that struggles at the bottom of a bottle. Just a fragment of the man that he used to be. Finishing up this training for the evening, they head out to the bar. They grab a couple drinks, and this is where they run into Zatanna, the daughter of John Zatara. Very well known for being one of the greatest magicians that the world has ever seen. But these are the early days. This is before she got any kind of real notoriety. And not seeing Bruce Wayne in such a very long time, Z grabs hold of him, and the two of them head out for the evening. As the two of them have a conversation about John, about how he has been struggling. In Bruce Wayne, he's a little bit concerned. John sees Bruce Wayne as a possible successor to this magician lifestyle, hoping that Z would be the one to follow in his footsteps. She has taken a different path, at least for the time being. And Bruce Wayne knows that he is not going to be able to stick around. He has not been completely honest with any of them. And eventually, he is going to have to leave. He worries that John is going to fall into a deeper hole once Bruce Wayne does leave. But in the midst of their conversation, it gets broken up because in an alleyway, there are two men who are robbing a woman. The only problem, this woman has already been killed. Not by these gentlemen, but by somebody else. Not really sure what is going on here. Z knows exactly what is happening, or at least she has a very good idea of it. As the two of them head off to find John, we are picking up at his stage, sitting here in a drunken stupor. This is when the demon arrives. As this demon comes up to John, Z and Bruce, they show up in the back, and in a blinding red light, this demon disappears. And Z is trying to figure out what the heck that was. John simply letting them know that it was a lesser demon. A demon that shows up every now and then, gets his butt kicked, and then he goes away. While Z and John have this conversation, we have Bruce Wayne who is looking around the stage, looking for any kind of mirrors, any kind of wires, believing that this has to be some kind of magic trick. Someone playing tricks on them, making them believe that it's some kind of magical demon. But this is when Z breaks the truth to him. This is when Bruce Wayne finds out the truth. That magic, it is real. That there are things in this world that are beyond their possible beliefs, but are as real as the floor underneath their feet. The truth is, John could very easily dispatch that demon. The only problem is, he wants nothing to do with magic, unable to save his own wife. He has turned away from magic completely. And so while John and Z, they argue amongst each other, for Bruce Wayne, the truth is settling in. He has finally figured out magic is real. And so he asks both Z and John to teach him that he needs to learn how to do magic, coming clean to the both of them. He lets them know that he has spent the last several years traveling around the world, learning from the greatest teachers in the world. What he is trying to do is be the best at everything. He wants to make sure that no one ever has to suffer in the way that he did. That he will be the vengeance in the night. He will be the justice for all those that never got it. And if there is a single crack in his armor, if there are people out there that can do things that he simply can't even understand, then this is a battle he already lost before he begins. This is when John enlightens him that while John may very much love Bruce Wayne, that drive that is inside of Bruce, this is why he cannot learn magic. This is why he refuses to teach him magic. Because while Bruce Wayne may be a brilliant man, he is dark. And with magic, there is always a price. To do magic, it costs you something. And at the end of the day, Bruce Wayne has nothing but his darkness. Nothing but that drive. And so if he were to teach Bruce Wayne how to use magic, there is a very high possibility that Bruce Wayne would not be the man he is today. That he would be much darker, much more sinister. The magic could very much corrupt everything that he represents. And though John is unwilling to help him, Z is unwilling to give up on capturing this demon, sending it right back to hell. This is hard for Bruce Wayne. Ever since Anton, he has not let anybody into his life, fearing that one day she is going to find out who he truly is. And she will never come back. The two of them going into her study, they begin researching everything they can on this demon, learning that the demon's name is Shantaz. Every 20 years or so, he is allowed to escape hell, and he feasts on those with a broken heart. This is exactly why he is going after John. And while she is doing all of this research, Bruce Wayne, he is trying to study magic. He is trying to do magic through sheer force of will. But Z lets him know that he doesn't have the capability to learn magic. It is not a muscle that you can train over and over again. Because to be able to wield and do magic, you have to surrender to the magic. And surrendering to something fully, this is something that Bruce Wayne simply can't do. Taking us to a little bit later that evening, we have Z who is drawing a sigil, and she is drawing markings all over Bruce Wayne's body. These markings are going to enhance his emotions, enhance everything that he feels. The truth is, Bruce Wayne, at his very core, he holds on to the heartbreak, to all of the pain that he has endured from his parents' murder. This is what drives him. This is what gives him strength. This is what leads him to being the Batman. And in this particular situation, it is exactly what they need. A demon that feeds off of all of this heartbreak. Bruce Wayne is being amplified, and it is going to draw the demon in. They are going to use the sigil in the study to be able to trap the demon. And it doesn't take long. This demon makes his entrance into the apartment. Bruce Wayne looking as if he is already in hell. He knows that this is illusion, that this is magic, that he needs to focus on the things that were just around him, to center and ground himself to the plane that he is already in. And so being able to break free of the illusion that surrounds him, he is quickly learning that while magic is something out of the realm that he completely understands, one thing he does understand is criminals. And this demon is no different than any criminal that he has to deal with. Him and Z making the way to the study. The demon gets trapped inside the sigil on the ground. But this only holds the demon for a moment. Not quite strong enough to be able to capture him permanently. This is where we have the arrival of Giovanni Zatara. And he has finally had enough. This demon coming at him at full speed. It is absolutely no match for John. Using his magic, he sends this demon right back down to hell. It is only now that John has finally realized he should have been doing more this whole time, living in his own sorrow, living in his own misery, hiding himself at the bottom of a bottle. It took his daughter's life being in jeopardy for him to finally come out of it. And so that's what takes us to later on the next morning. As Bruce Wayne and Z say their goodbyes to one another, we know that this is not a forever goodbye. And he knows that he still has much to learn from both John and Z. He knows that it is almost time to return back to Gotham. But before he does go, he goes to see John. The two of them sit down, they have a conversation. John, now out of the bottle, getting ready for his residency in Las Vegas. He has come here to say goodbye to John, but also return a book that he took from Z's study. A book titled Speaking to the Dead. He took this book believing that he could work at it, that he could perfect magic and possibly be able to talk to his parents, knowing in his bones that he would be able to perfect magic, that he would become a master of it. But everything in his life, everything that he has worked towards, it would disappear. This would be the price. This is the cost of being a magician. That temptation lying right there on the surface. To see his parents one more time, to hear their voices. It is almost unbearable knowing that his parents are right there on the other side of the veil. But John lets him know that there is a magic that comes at no price. A magic that everyone possesses. That magic is memory. Being able to remember those you love. Moments, times, places, all of these things. This is the true magic in the world. And this is a magic that you can share with others. And so before Bruce Wayne goes, the two of them sit down and they reminisce about Thomas and Martha. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As we are 7 issues in, this has been a fun trip down memory lane. Not only did we get Anton aka Ghostmaker, or at least I believe so. They didn't say that, but it's gotta be Ghostmaker. And we've seen a lot of other individuals. It's nice to see Bruce and Z back in the early days. The two of them growing up together more or less as kids. And seeing that their relationship, it is a very long-standing one, definitely having its ups and downs. We see that Bruce Wayne had the opportunity to become the magician, to become as powerful as Z herself, but it's something that he turned away from. Knowing what his mission is, knowing what he wants to do in this world, even having that power as a magician, he knows that it would more than likely corrupt who he is at his very core. But knowing that magic exists, this is a very important part for Bruce Wayne, because while he may not be learning about magic or learning how to do magic, he can learn how to combat magic. These are all steps in making him the world's greatest tactician. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.